Okay, so you might have convinced that the x component of A cross B from here it is simply AYBZ minus AZBY. So we are getting same thing here. So that means we can represent any component of the cross product by using Levi-Civita symbol. So the jth component of A cross B you can write as epsilon JKL AKBL. Okay, so then what about the jth component of del cross E? So jth component of del cross E we can write epsilon JKL del K and EL. Okay, so the jth component of A cross B is epsilon JKL, then kth component of the first vector and lth component of the second vector, which is the kth component of first vector is AK, the lth component of second vector is BL. So in case of del cross E, the first vector is del and second vector is E. So epsilon JKL, the jth component of del cross E is epsilon JKL. Then kth component of the first vector, that would be dou K, and lth component of the second vector, that is EL. Okay, now the derivative of the electric field. Okay, now here we have to write it is a complex vector. Okay, the derivative of electric field or the kth derivative of electric field would be equal to that derivative is simply corresponding to the product of the that corresponding component of k vector times the electric field. Okay, so that is we have discussed earlier. That is the dou by dou x of Ex is corresponding to the multiplication of Ikx. So in general, dou by dou x acting on any electric field, that is corresponding to the electric field times Ikx. So derivative with respect to any variable to the electric field gives I times the corresponding component of k vector. Okay, so that is the meaning of this. So derivative is equivalent to I, that corresponding component of k. So it is a kth component of k. So that is why I written KKEL. So this I can be taken outside. It become epsilon JKL, the kth component of k vector and lth component of electric field vector. Now if you look at this, so this is nothing but the jth component of k cross E. So I can write this is k cross E j. So del cross E, jth component of del cross E is equal to I times jth component of k cross E. Okay. Now similarly we can find minus dou B by dou T. What would be jth component of minus dou B by dou T? So equal to minus, if you differentiate B with respect to time, you'll get minus I omega outside, then we'll get the magnetic field B. So this is equal to jth component of magnetic field. So it's equal to plus I omega jth component of magnetic field. Because the time dependence is coming through here. The magnetic field is V0 times e raised to I k dot r minus omega t. So if you differentiate with respect to time for any component, for x component or y component, z component, we'll get minus I omega t outside or minus I omega outside. So that is we have written here minus I omega outside. Okay, now using Faraday's law, which is del cross E equal to minus dou B by dou T in complex notation, and hence the jth component of del cross E would be equal to jth component of dou p by dou t minus dou p by dou t. The jth component of del cross E is I times k cross E of jth component. Then it become I omega, the jth component of magnetic field. So I would cancel on both sides, and hence the jth component of the magnetic field is k cross E tilde of jth component divided by omega. So each component would be equated like this. So hence a general magnetic field B tilde can be written as k cross E tilde by omega. And what is magnetic field? Which is B0 tilde e raised to I k dot r minus omega t, which is equal to k cross E0 tilde by omega e raised to I k dot r minus omega t. So this e raised to I k dot r minus omega t would cancel on both sides. Okay, and hence we get V0 tilde is k cross E0 tilde by omega. And what is B0 tilde? Which is magnetic field B0 e raised to I delta B, and k cross E0 tilde, E0 tilde can be written as vector E0 e raised to I delta E divided by omega. Okay, now this is the vectorial part, and this is phase part, which is a complex function. So this complex function should equate separately. So hence, so this will give two conditions. One is vector B0 is equal to k cross E0 divided by omega, and delta E is equal to delta B. So finally what we have got is the direction of magnetic field should be perpendicular to both direction of propagation and direction of electric field. So we have already seen that the magnetic field is perpendicular to direction of propagation. Now the new information in this equation is the magnetic field should also proportional to the electric field as well. Okay, so we have already seen that k dot B0 must be 0. This we have already seen. And here what we have got is the magnetic field and electric field must also be perpendicular. So finally what we can say that direction of propagation, electric field and magnetic field, all three are mutually perpendicular for electromagnetic wave in vacuum. And this condition is called the transversality condition. And the other information is the initial phases of the electric field and magnetic field are same. So that means the both electric field and magnetic field should oscillate synchronously. That is, whenever the electric field is 0, the magnetic field should also be 0. Whenever the electric field is maximum, the magnetic field should also be maximum. So that means, so that is the meaning of the same initial phase. So the initial phase are different, then they will oscillate out of phase. Okay, they will not oscillate in phase. Okay. Now then we can write the expression for the electric field. Okay, so this electric field E tilde of RT. So earlier we have written it is E0 tilde e raised to I k dot r minus omega t, where this E0 tilde we can write as vector E0 times e raised to I delta E. Now this can also be written as E0 times e raised to I delta E times a unit vector n. So this unit vector n gives the direction of electric field of electromagnetic wave, and that is known as the direction of polarization of electromagnetic wave. So if this n is fixed, then we can call that electromagnetic wave is polarized. But in general, n can change with the time, with the space. N can be function of space and time. There is no restriction for it. N can change. The direction of polarization can change with the time. Okay, but if the direction of polarization is fixed, that means if the electric field is oscillating only along one particular direction, then it is called a polarized wave. So this n is called the direction of polarization. So then therefore I can write this E tilde of RT, again can be written as E0 tilde e raised to I k dot R minus omega t times n. So what is E0 tilde is just the amplitude, there is no direction here. So this is simply E0 e raised to I delta E. Okay, now there is no need to write separate E for the phase because the initial phases are same. The delta E and delta B is same as delta. And how will you write B tilde of RT? So B tilde of RT is B0 tilde e raised to I k dot R minus omega t. Now remember the direction of magnetic field is along k cross E. So this can be written as unit vector k cross unit vector n. So this would be the direction of the magnetic field. And what is B0 tilde? Which is B0 times e raised to I delta. Okay. Now if you look at again vector B0, which is k cross E0 by omega. Now we can find the magnitude of B0, that is simply equal to k times E0 by omega, which is E0 by omega by k, and omega by k is speed of wave. And what is so in this entire discussion we are discussing the electromagnetic wave in vacuum, and hence the magnitude of the amplitude, the magnetic field amplitude is the amplitude of the electric field divided by C. Okay, so then finally we can write here the electric field of electromagnetic wave E of RT is E0 tilde e raised to I k dot R minus omega t times n, and P tilde of RT, which is E0 tilde divided by C e raised to I k dot R minus omega t, and direction is along k cross n, and this E0 tilde is E0 times e raised to I delta, where delta is the initial phase. So finally this is the representation of electromagnetic wave in vacuum. So we can highlight this. Okay, so remember this n is called a direction of propagation, sorry, direction of polarization. So if n is fixed, then we can say that electromagnetic wave is polarized or plane polarized. So that is one thing. So there are different types of polarization: plane polarization, circular polarization, elliptical polarization. So what is meant by circular polarization? So if direction of n changes with time, so if the direction of n sweeps out a circle during its propagation, then it can be either circular polarization or the elliptical polarization. So if n rotates, if the direction of electric field rotates with time or rotates during its propagation, then it is no longer plane polarized, but it is still a polarized electromagnetic wave. And such polarization is called circular polarization. So if n rotates in circle, then it is called circular polarization. And if n rotates in ellipse, then it is called elliptical polarization. And finally, if n is random, if n randomly changes, then the light is called unpolarized. So if there is no specific direction for the electric field oscillation, then it is called unpolarized electromagnetic wave. So that is what is called the polarization. Polarization of electromagnetic wave. Okay, so that's all for now. So we'll continue this discussion. So now what we have to do is we have to find the other characteristics of electromagnetic wave in vacuum. At present, we have just found out the connection between the electric field, magnetic field, and direction of propagation. And we have shown that the direction of electric field, magnetic field, and direction of propagation, all three are mutually perpendicular. And secondly, we have introduced the concept of polarization. The direction of electric field during the propagation of electromagnetic wave is called the direction of polarization. So if direction of polarization is fixed, then the wave is called plane polarized. And if n rotates in circular or elliptical, then the polarization is either circular polarization or elliptical polarization. And finally, if n is randomly oriented, then it is called the unpolarized electromagnetic wave. Okay, and we have also shown that the phases of the electric field and magnetic field are same. Is delta E and delta B are same, and we can mathematically represent the electric field and magnetic field in this way. Their amplitudes are interconnected. The electric field amplitude and magnetic field amplitude is is connected like this. Is the magnetic field amplitude is 1 by c times of the electric field amplitude, and the direction of magnetic field is the k cross the direction of the electric field. So that's all about the initial the first level of the characteristics of electromagnetic wave. Now finally we can make a pictorial representation of this electromagnetic wave. Okay, suppose this is z direction, x direction, y direction. Suppose the direction of propagation of electromagnetic wave is along z direction, and the electric field, the direction of polarization, is along x direction. So direction of propagation is z and direction of polarization x. Then what would be direction of magnetic field? So magnetic field should be along K cross N. So that means Z cross X. So it should be along Y direction. Okay. Now suppose the electric field is oscillating like this. That is, this is the representation of visual representation of electric field at one particular instant. Remember, this electromagnetic wave is a dynamic concept, but we are trying to visualize using a static way, because we cannot draw a dynamical way. We can represent a picture at one particular instant. So this is a picture of electric field, the electric field wave at one particular instant. So it can oscillate along x direction or negative x direction. Okay, so it changes with time. Okay, electric field can be positive and negative. So when it is negative, it will be directed along minus x direction. If it's positive, it will be directed along positive x direction. Now the maximum value of this electric field, maximum value of the electric field is called E0. So this length is called E0, the amplitude of the electric field. Now, what would be the direction of magnetic field? So if the electric field is along x direction, then the magnetic field should be along y direction, because direction of propagation is along z. Okay, so if the electric field is along x direction, the magnetic field should be along y direction. So it should be along this zy plane, and it would be along y direction. Okay, so this magnetic field should be perpendicular to both z and x, so it should be along y direction. So if electric field along x, then magnetic field is along y, and both should have the same phase. So whenever the electric field is 0, the magnetic field should also be 0. Okay, so when the electric field is in positive cycle, the magnetic field should be along y direction. And when the electric field is in negative cycle, if it is directed along minus x direction, then magnetic field should be along minus y direction. If the electric field is again positive x direction, the magnetic field should be in positive y. So this should be the magnetic field. And the maximum value of the magnetic field, this maximum value of the magnetic field is denoted by symbol vector B0. The maximum value of the electric field is written as E0. That is called the amplitude. Okay, so this is a visual representation of a polarized or plane polarized electromagnetic wave with polarization along x direction and propagation along z direction. Okay, so this is for one particular instant. Now when time goes on, if it is plane polarized, then direction of electric field does not change with time. But if it is unpolarized, then direction of electric field changes. Okay, so even it will not be along x direction for this entire distance. Okay, so here I have shown total of 2.5 wavelength. Okay, I have shown a 2.5 wavelength here, and this entire 2.5 wavelength, the electric field is oscillating along x direction only. Then it is x and minus x direction, depending upon whether the electric field is positive or negative. But if it is unpolarized unpolarized electromagnetic wave, then what would happen is it will be along randomly oriented. The direction of electric field changes at each location. Okay, so that is difficult to handle. Now, the one important point you have to remember is this electromagnetic wave cannot exist in the absence of one field. So if you absorb any one of the field, either electric field or magnetic field, the electromagnetic wave vanishes. So actually this electric field and magnetic field are propagating by mutual reconciliation. So they are supporting each other. The electric field supports the production of magnetic field, and the magnetic field supports the production of electric field, because the changing electric field produces the magnetic field, and change in magnetic field produces the electric field. So that is the way this electromagnetic wave is propagating without any help from any medium. So there is no medium is required for the propagation of electromagnetic wave. They can exist their own. Okay, so that is the very beauty of the very power of the electromagnetic wave. So in the vacuum also it can propagate, but if you look at sound waves, the sound wave cannot propagate without medium. Okay, so you cannot talk if there is no medium is present between you, but you can send light. Even in the absence of medium also you can send light, you can send electromagnetic wave, because its propagation is by the mutual helping between the electric field and magnetic field. But for the propagation of sound, the help from the medium is required. The mediums are the oscillating, the air molecules or water molecules are oscillating for the propagation of sound. It is a pressure wave. But the electromagnetic wave uh, is a wave of field, and the field can exist even in the absence of medium. Okay, so that's all for now. In the next session, we'll continue this discussion of the characteristics of electromagnetic wave in vacuum. So we'll be discussing about its the energy density, the intensity, and Poynting vector, and so on. Okay, so that's all for now. So thanks for watching this video. So we'll see you in the next class.